Hello, 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 and welcome back to another Minecraft tutorial. Today, what I have for you guys is a very simple, very basic resin farm. Resin farms are a new thing. The Pale Garden recently came out, and with that, we got a couple of new blocks, and this dude right behind me, the creaking. Now, some of those new blocks that we got are over there in our little chamber, and I'll be going over that, explaining how exactly this farm works, and then I'll show you guys how to build it. And as always, if you like these kind of videos, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. It does really help and it allows me to continue making these videos for you guys. But let's get to it. All right, so now resin farms are actually fairly simple to make. They're just a little odd. So what we have here is we have a creaking heart, which is linked up to our creaking guy over here. Now, the reason it's so dark is because this will only work at night. Now, creakings themselves are invincible, but if we go ahead and give him a whack, do you see there's some particles going from here to this creaking heart? Now, these particles right here, that is resin, and we can actually farm this fairly easily. And the way we do that is if we get these blocks to move, notice how all that resin fell off, landed in our hoppers here, and it got delivered over here. Now, what is going on is that this heart here that is connected to him, the particles will fly towards this heart, and they will spread one block from the heart, from all my experimenting, diagonal, top, and next to, but they will not spread further than that. So you can make this farm bigger, but in order to do so, you need more creakings. Each creaking, it's going to be about this big. If you try to add more logs, top or bottom, they're not going to get resin. It's just going to be extra blocks for the sake of having extra blocks. Now, creaking themselves, when you hit them, as you see, it's taking a while for the particles to show back up. And that is because they only spawn so often. So it's not based on each time you hit them. It's based on how much time has passed since the last time you hit them. Now, I have a dog in here as well, because wolves, as you can see, will attack creakings for you, making this semi-automatic. The reason why it's semi-automatic is after a period of time, the wolf will just stop attacking. It's usually about somewhere between 30 seconds to a minute. And then once it stops attacking, you are going to have to smack the creaking again to get the wolf to attack it again, which makes it semi-automatic, not a fully automatic farm. So see, there we go. The wolf has stopped attacking. Our farm has stopped as a result. So I'd have to go ahead, hit the creaking again to get the wolf to attack it again. Now, if we don't have a wolf attacking it, what we have instead is an AFK farm. So you'd come up here, you'd stand here, and you'd have an auto clicker of some sort going, and you'd just be smacking the creaking. Now, I'm in creative right now, so if we switch over to survival, now when we look at the creaking, he's not going to move, which allows us to AFK farm and just sit here and punch him. If I go back into creative, he'll go back to wandering around. Yeah, that's it. There's not a whole lot to it. Now you could take these resin clumps and you can actually make blocks out of them. So you can make a bunch of resin bricks, which you can also turn into chiseled resin bricks. And the block itself actually looks fairly neat. It gives us a new type of orange. So yeah, let's go ahead and show you guys how to make this. All right, first things first, we're going to make this during the day, so that way we don't have to deal with our creaking friend while we're trying to build the farm. And what you are going to need, not the resin, you're going to need 2 target blocks, 2 redstone repeaters, an observer, 2 pistons, 10 redstone dust, 12 building blocks of any sort. These ones specifically are going to be what our redstone is on. You're going to need 1 redstone block, 1 creaking heart, 5 pale oak logs or their variants, like stripped logs, etc. 31 glass. Now, this glass you can make any building block. I just always prefer to see into my farms. 19 carpet. Now, this carpet is going to be very important because we need to make sure that the creaking can't spawn on any surfaces. So we need to make sure that 8 blocks below, 8 blocks above, and 16 blocks in any direction from the heart, there are no spawnable blocks other than where we want him to spawn. Now, I have found that he spawns on redstone. I've had him spawn on glass. The only things I have not had him spawn on are carpets and fence posts. Not sure if that's a glitch, but those are the only 2 blocks I have yet to have him spawn on. Now, if you want the semi-automatic version, you're going to need a wolf. You're going to need an oak fence. You're also going to need, an oak gate. You're also going to need 13 fences. Doesn't have to be oak. You're going to need 30 building blocks. This is for our platform to stand on, as well as for him to spawn on. And then 10 carpets. This is going to be for where we're standing, so he doesn't spawn where we're going to stand. Now, my collection system is just 3 hoppers and 2 chests. You can actually do whatever you want here. If you really wanted to, you can have this just be a straight drop all the way down and have your collection system down at the ground. This farm does need to be in the air because, like I said, it needs to be 8 blocks away from anything spawnable, up and down. So, all right, go ahead and let's get to actually building this. First things first, you are going to need some temporary blocks. I'm just going to use regular stone, and we're going to go up 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, and then we're going to need our pale oak logs and our creaking heart. If you are in survival, I highly recommend you get scaffolding for this build. You can just use a bunch of temporary blocks, but scaffolding is going to be your friend. Okay, now after we get our 9 blocks up, we're going to put a pale oak log like so, creaking heart, and then another log. You can set this creaking heart incorrectly directionally. So like that. You will know if it's incorrect if this is not glowing when you have it in between your 2 logs. And it's the same with the logs themselves. Oops. The logs can be incorrect directionally. And again, you will know because the heart will not be on. So it needs to be like that as if it's a tree. All right, next, we're going to have our logs that the resin is going to go on. And that's just going to be 3 logs in front of what we already have built here. So you should have something like this. If you want to, you could go ahead and knock these blocks out. So this is what we got. Okay, next, we're going to come down below. And we're going to have 2 temporary blocks like so. Knock that one out, and then we're going to have a piston facing up like that. And then we're going to put a target block next to our piston. Now we can come here and we can put another temporary block under our target block. We can get rid of the one under the piston, and then another block right here. Now we're going to come out 3, and then 2, and then we're going to do a third, but we're going to go up 1. So that one was a temporary block, and we should have something like so. Now we're going to put a temporary block on our log, get our observer, and face our observer into this temporary block, break the temporary block. Okay, now we need a redstone dust and a repeater. We're going to go redstone dust, repeater on 3 ticks. And then redstone dust, redstone dust, redstone dust. We should now have something that looks like this. Next, we're going to take our block of redstone. We're going to put it on top of our pillar, like so. So don't put it on top of the one with the creaking heart. Put it on top of the one without. And then we're going to build out 2 blocks. And then another 2 blocks. And then 1 more here. And then a temporary block. And we're going to build up 1 like so. And then we're going to need another temporary block on top of that one. And then we're going to put our target block here. So our target block should be hovering 2 blocks above our creaking heart pillar. And then attach a temporary block to our target, another temporary block above that one, and then a piston facing down like so. We're going to need our redstone again, and we're going to do redstone, redstone. Repeater on 3 ticks. Redstone, redstone, redstone. So now we should have something that looks like this. Okay, next, we're going to come down here and we're going to need our hoppers and our chest and probably some extra temporary blocks here. Now, our hoppers are going to go right here, here, and here, but we need to get our chests out first. So we're going to put 3 temporary blocks, our chest, then another chest, knock out our temporary blocks, and then, oops, if it will cooperate with me. I have never had this problem before. Okay. Something up is going on my keyboard or something, making this really difficult. So you need to shift click into the back of the chest, and then you have 3 hoppers going in like so. Normally, if you hold shift and space in the air, you won't move, but for some reason, I am slowly floating up. Not exactly sure why. Anyways, so we should have something that looks like this now. All right, next part is going to be to make a glass tube for our items, as well as to just kind of see into. So important things are we're going to need glass on every side of these logs here, including on top. The reason for this is that we are preventing any of the resin from collecting on any of these sides. If we don't have something blocking this, resin will attach to any of these logs here, which will slow down our farm significantly. Same is going to be for the sides of these logs, like so. And then we're also going to want to come up an additional one here. Now, we're going to come to the front of our farm, build it all the way up on top of our observers, and then on top of that harbor. You can cap these off, build it up higher if you want to, but it is not necessary. Now we got something that looks like this. Next, we're going to need to grab our carpet, and now we need to make sure that none of these surfaces are spawnable. So we're going to come, and we're just going to place carpet on everything, including our redstone. Now, if you try to click on the repeater here, you're going to mess up the ticks. You can shift click and click on it, or you can click off the side of a carpet, whichever is easier for you. All right, so make sure you got carpet on all of our surfaces up here, including our glass there. Do not forget this piece of glass here. We don't want our creaking to just randomly spawn there. And then come over here, carpet all of that. So we should have something that looks like this. And this is the basic farm. Now we need to just build the area where we're going to be punching the creaking and farming everything. All right, so this platform is completely up to you. So you can build it however you want, make it look however you want. The important thing is that you have a spawning pad for your creaking, and then you have an area for yourself that is safe to be able to punch said creaking. Now I am just going to do a 5x6 area out in front of here. You can build it wherever you want around our farm here, as long as it's within 16 blocks in either direction, well, in any direction from our heart, and at least 8 blocks up or down. I'm just going to go off of our hoppers here. Actually, we'll just go off the glass. So 1, 2. I'm going to give us some space. So come out 2, and then 5, and then 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. Make sure I can count. I cannot count. Okay. So we have 5x6. Now go ahead, fill this all in. All right, next, 3 in, put a gate, and then we're just going to build all the way around with a fence. And this right here is going to be our spawning platform. And then we're just going to cover where we're standing in carpet. You can have some way up here by ladder or scaffolding or elytra. Dealer's choice. Just make sure that whatever you build up to here, there's no spawnable platforms other than where you want your creaking to spawn. And actually, something I didn't think about. Come on, buddy. Our farm over here is a bit close, so I'm going to carpet this off just so we can show off our new one we got. Now, everything should be good to go. We just need it to be nighttime. All right, it is nighttime and our creaking has spawned. Now, one thing to keep in mind is that this may not be automatic. Our other creaking heart over here has also spawned, so as I said, you can, if it's within 15 block radius, they will spawn in. Now, it looks like we messed something up. And that would be our piston here. Somehow we put it a little bit too high. It's the carpet. Okay. There we go. I don't know how we messed it up. So make sure your piston is flush with the target block. I am sorry about that. Alright. So now we got our two creakings. And this is actually convenient because it shows that you can have one platform and have a bunch of these all around. As you can see, they are both working. So you can continue to set up little modules like this and have them all circling around a platform like so. Make it more efficient. And then, as I said, if we get our dog, first we need to make sure he's tame. And then we can unleash our dog on the creakings here. Now, it is only going to do one at a time if we have multiple. Yeah, he's a helpful buddy. He's a good boy. But that is it. Like I said, if you want, build more of these around and you'll make it even more and more efficient. You can even tile these next to each other, make them longer. Just keep in mind that if you do that, because our observer is facing this one here, it will only go off once this bottom tile has resin on it. Well, that bottom block has resin on it. I'm mostly Darklink. Thank you for watching. If you like this video and want to see more like it, please hit that like and subscribe button. And until next time, see ya.